بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أسعد الله مساءكم جميعا. نرحب بكم في حفل تخرج دفعة 2021. أولياء الأمور الكرام، أصدقائنا الأعزاء، زملائنا الخريجين، السادة الضيوف من السفارات والوزارات وأعضاء مجلس الإدارة الكرام من المملكة المتحدة، السيد تيم كاغني الرئيس التنفيذي لمدارس ACS، وضيفتنا المتحدثة لهذا العام الدكتورة سوزان كرامانيان، عميدة كلية القانون في جامعة حمد بن خليفة. نحن هنا اليوم لنحتفل بتخريج دفعة 2021.
Good evening. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2021. Dear family, friends, members of the alumni, dignitaries from the embassies, ministries, esteemed member of the ACS Board of Governors, Mr. Tim Cagney, Chief Executive Officer, ACS International Schools, and our guest speaker, Dr. Susan Carmanian, Dean College of Law, Hamad bin Khalifa University. We are here to celebrate the success and achievements of the class of 2021.
يسعدنا نحن سلطان المناعي وكارن بوكتر أن نقدم لكم الحفل هذا المساء.
We are Karen Bakhtar and Sultan Al-Manai, and we will be your masters of ceremony for today's event.
يسرنا الآن دعوة ضيوفنا الكرام للقاء أعضاء هيئة التدريس والطلاب الخريجين.
May we now invite our guests for the introduction of the faculty and graduates.
اسمحوا لي الآن أن أدعو السيد روبرت كودي مدير المدرسة لافتتاح فعاليات هذا الحفل.
May I invite our head of school, Mr. Robert Cody, to open the proceedings.
Welcome everyone to this moment of transition for a group of talented and resilient students. In moments of transition, a significant transition like this, the commitment to become the person you want takes on more purpose. You will leave this graduation ceremony a different person. Let's look at various ways that you might leave this moment of transition differently. Is your life going to be thorns or roses? Is your life going to be good or bad? Finally, is your life like a glass, half full or half empty? First, let's look at the thorns or the roses. Alphonse Carr wrote, "We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses." The thorns are the painful parts of our journey. You cannot have the rose without the thorns. However, the thorns allow us to see the beauty in the rose and in life more clearly. Second, is there good or bad? Good and bad are the same because with the right mindset, you will make the best of any situation. Harry S. Truman said, "A pessimist is one who makes difficulties of their opportunities, and an optimist is one who makes opportunities of their difficulties." It does not matter good or bad. There just is. This is the time in which you live. A time of sickness, a time of health, a time of passing, a time of birth, a time of sadness, and a time of hope. It is all here, good and bad, as it always has been, and it always will be. The only difference will be your attitude in how you experience life. Finally, let's consider the age-old question, is your glass half full or half empty? I would ask you to also say, it does not matter. It does not matter. Why? Because your glass is refillable, and you have the power to fill it. Lauren Aquilina said, glass half empty, glass half full. Well, either way, you won't be going thirsty. Count your blessings, not your flaws. You are fortunate to have the ability and resources to get a glass for someone who does not have one. And you can fill their glass. And this is what makes a difference. Let other people talk and debate about thorns or roses, good or bad, half empty or half full. You are ready to live your life to the fullest. You will talk, you will listen, but more importantly, you are ready, willing, and able to take action. Congratulations, class of 2021. I know you will leave this ceremony more committed to a life of purpose. Rejoice in the journey, remain optimistic, and celebrate your blessings.
ونبقى الآن مع خطاب تحية للخريجين يقدمه مؤرخ مذكرات خريجي دفعة 2021 الطالب عمر أحمد.
Now, our class historian, Syed Umar Ahmed, will deliver the tribute to the graduating class of 2021.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the graduating class of 2021, I would like to welcome you to this momentous occasion. I am Umar Ahmed, and it is an honor for me to be able to represent this exceptional group of students. The past few years have truly been special. So much has happened, and we've all changed in some way or another. Through the normal highs and lows of high school, the stressful deadlines, the torture of the IBDP, and of course the pandemic, we have resolutely remained determined and fought our way through it all. One of the biggest adjustments was the transition to online classes due to COVID restrictions. Moving to a completely new system and method of learning was tough at first, but we managed to overcome this adversity by showing attributes such as being principled and open-minded, both of which an IB learner should possess. The jump from MYP to DP was unexpectedly tough for a lot of us, as we saw our grades suddenly drop. But through the attributes and skills that we had acquired in the MYP curriculum, we managed to stay strong, motivated, and organized to achieve our goals and hence thrive in high school. Transitions such as these have enabled us to become flexible in the ways we operate and have allowed us to grow not only as learners but as human beings. Another momentous transition was moving from the old campus to a new one, which was exciting even if you had only been able to benefit from it for a single year. As someone who has been at ACS for approximately 10 years, I have had numerous memories of the old building and I'm proud to be in the first senior class of the new one. I have been able to see students come and leave, but one thing that has stayed constant are the friendships forged over that time. I have made countless friends, some of which aren't at the school anymore, yet the relationship that I have with them is to this day indestructible. Personally, I've gathered many memories from these past couple of years, from Aman's deafening laughter to Iman sleeping in physics class, from Vincent's undying love for K-pop to Ayushi and Jane having the time of their lives in chemistry class, and Labib watching movies in every single class he goes to. As I recall the amazing memories from lower school, there are some which stand out, such as the extremely competitive football tournament which was played between all the grade 4 classes. Another highlight from lower school was the categorization of classes such as ancient civilizations, such as the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Vikings. Dressing up as some of these was quite fun. The enjoyable trips to the beaches, which we had in middle school, and the plethora of after-school activities which we participated in. There have also been many spectacular achievements by the seniors, none more so than the varsity basketball team bringing home the Under-19 High School Championship of Qatar against our fierce rivals ASD. The robotics team, although inexperienced, striving to compete in the national football tournament and winning the KISS award for the best simplest robot. All of these memories remind me of how we have grown and matured and changed as people and learners, and how we have learned from these experiences and used them to our advantage. These memories serve as a reminder of who we are as people and how we have matured over the years. This graduation will symbolize our transition from teenagers to adults and place new responsibilities on our shoulders. As we look back at the years we have been together and how each year got more difficult, I want everyone to remember how we, together as a grade, overcame each obstacle and managed each transition. Each and every one of the seniors this year aspire to achieve something in their lives. Do not let anyone or anything distract you from achieving those goals. This is a big transition, but if you hit a wall, look back at your time at ACS and find inspiration and strength. As most of us enter university, we must remember who we are and where we come from. The future is bright for all of us, and I know that we can further our legacy going forward. Thank you.
وندعوكم الآن إلى الاستمتاع بعزف منفرد على البيانو من أداء شانن دي لا بينا من الصف الثامن.
Shannon de la Peña from grade 10 will now perform a piano solo.
أما الآن فنبقى مع الطالبة المتفوقة من دفعة 2021 حيث تلقي كلمة تحية للتعلم والتعليم خلال رحلتها في مدرسة ACS الدوحة.
We will now call on the class salutatorian to deliver her tribute to teaching and learning during her time at ACS Doha.
الطالبة المتفوقة لهذا العام هي ماتيلدا إيزابيل فيربذر. ماتي متعلمة مواظبة ومتعطشة للتعلم، لديها الرغبة في معرفة المزيد عن هذا العالم. إنها طالبة متفانية ومعروفة في صفها بأسلوبها في الدراسة الذي يقوم على الاهتمام بكل التفاصيل، وهي شغوفة دائما بالمشاركة الفعالة في المناظرات والمناقشات الصفية.
This year's salutatorian is Matilda Isabel Fairbrother. Maddie is a tenacious learner with a hunger to always know more about the ways in which the world works. She's a dedicated student and is known in the classroom for her detail-oriented approach to studying and learning, and she always exudes passion in class discussion and debates.
رحبوا معي بماتيلدا حيث ستلقي كلمة تحية للمعلمين.
Please join us in welcoming Matilda to deliver the tribute to teachers.
I'm supposed to talk about learning, and when I think about learning in high school, I think of being tired at the end of a long day. I think about procrastinating coursework and the extended essay, and being stressed about whether I'd done my CAS project correctly, and messing around in classrooms with my friends. But I was relieved because all of my friends were going through the exact same thing that I was. Learning in high school in a pandemic is a very different case, as everyone in the class of 2021 is all too familiar with. Although it wasn't just our grade who was hit by the challenging changes in school life, I think our grade got hit particularly hard by it. But I think the pandemic has taught us a lot of valuable life lessons that we would have never learned, or we would have learned a lot later in life if the pandemic hadn't happened. We learned that it's important to focus because there are distractions around us that are absent in classrooms. We learned that we never know when we're going to see our friends again, so we need to appreciate each moment with them as if it's the last. We learned to get work done really quickly because of how much we procrastinated. So now we can use that to our advantage to get more downtime after getting future projects done even faster. This speech is to thank the teachers, and I will thank the teachers, but I think that this pandemic is a different kind of teacher because it's taught us so many life lessons that you can't learn in a classroom. And we need to acknowledge the ways that it's positively impacted our lives rather than only talking about the negatives. It's difficult to deal with change, especially when it hits as suddenly as the pandemic did. We all thought we were getting an impromptu 2-week holiday, and we made jokes about the seniors having an online graduation. But then they actually did have an online graduation, and we felt bad for them because their senior year ended on a random Tuesday in March. And then a year later, our senior year ended on a random Wednesday in March, and now we're having an online graduation as well. It's really sad to think about how we haven't had a real last day of school for over 2 years because all of the last days of school in our last chapter of our senior lives we haven't known that it was the last day, and we haven't known that it was the last day we would all be together. And now we appreciate any time we see each other, even if it's just dropping off a book that we want our friend to read. We need to look at all of the positive sides of things in order to move forwards, rather than always looking back at what could have been done differently. I think everyone deserves to congratulate themselves for getting through the most difficult 2 years of their lives on top of a pandemic, and to work hard in high school so that you can get into a good university, and to work hard at university so that you can get a good job. It's weird that we're always living for the future rather than for the moment. We're always so focused on what consequences our current actions have that we lose sight of what's actually happening in front of us. Last year in biology, my class was celebrating a surprise 2-week vacation, and Miss Sadi was shaking her head and laughing at us, telling us that this was not a good thing. But we ignored her and we insisted on cheering for no school. We didn't realize that it would be the last ever normal day of high school that we'd have. We were so excited to be on a break that we didn't enjoy the time that we were all together with no masks or social distancing. Although I'm sure if you ask Mr. Fred, he'll tell you that there was no social distancing even after we came back to school in grade 12. High school prepares you for the future. It gives you a diploma and college credits and teachers to write your recommendation letters and friends to talk to and stay sane with, or in our case, go insane with. But I think our class's high school experience has prepared us even better because it's shown us how unpredictable and how infuriating the world can be, and how there's nothing we can do about it except accept the change and move on. Look at all of us. We've survived the pandemic as well as high school. We need to give ourselves more credit instead of moping around at all the lost time with our friends and the missed experiences that we could have had as teenagers. We should instead look at how well prepared we are for anything that the world is going to throw at us in the years to come. I think it's important to acknowledge that everyone deals with change differently and that we need to be there for our friends, our family, and our teachers. Of course, it's difficult to be a junior and then a senior in a pandemic, but the teachers had to prepare us for exams, which got cancelled, and they have to look after their families and all of their other students in other grades and themselves as well. And I don't think anybody could forget the last 2 years, but I really, really want us to remember how hard our teachers have worked for us and how much we may have overlooked them at times. We are all human and we all struggle, and we will all continue to struggle unless we check in with those around us and make sure that they're okay, even the teachers that set too much homework. Teachers don't get the recognition they deserve, so we need to make sure that we give them the recognition that they deserve, and that we make sure from this point on that we reach out to the teachers of the past, the present, and the future, and make sure that they know how grateful we are for all of the work, thought, and effort that they put into ensuring that our futures are exactly what we want them to be. Thank you.
يشرفنا هذا المساء أن يكون معنا الدكتورة سوزان كرامينيان ضيفتنا المتحدثة لهذا الحفل.
This evening, we are honored to have Dr. Susan Karmanian as our guest speaker.
قبل وصولها إلى قطر عام 2018 شغلت مناصب قيادية متقدمة بالجامعة الأمريكية في الشارقة، وعملت سابقاً عميداً مشاركاً للدراسات القانونية الدولية والمقارنة، وأستاذاً محاضراً لعائلة بورنيت في القانون الدولي والمقارن في كلية جامعة جورج واشنطن القانون، وشريكاً في شركة المحاماة LLP في دالاس.
Before arriving in Qatar in 2018, she had served as a Provost and Chief Academic Officer at the American University of Sharjah, Associate Dean for International and Comparative Legal Studies, and Burnett Family Professorial Lecturer at the George Washington University Law School, and a partner in the law firm of Locke Lord LLP in Dallas.
هي عضو في مجلس أمناء مركز القانون الأمريكي والدولي، وعضو في مجلس العلاقات الخارجية والمجلس الأمريكي لألمانيا، وعضو في نقابة المحامين الأمريكية ونقابة المحامين في تكساس.
She's a trustee of the Center for American and International Law and a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, the American Council on Germany, the American Bar Foundation, and the Texas Bar Foundation.
رحبوا معي بالدكتورة سوزان كرامينيان.
Please join us in welcoming Dr. Susan Karmanian.
2021 graduates of ACS International School of Doha, families and friends, faculty and staff of ACS Doha. Today is the day for the 2021 graduates of ACS International School of Doha. At the outset, let me extend a warm congratulations to each graduate. At this day has been a long time in the making and one that I trust you will remember forever. We honor and recognize you and your support network. Foremost among that network are members of your beloved family. They have stood by you through the good times and the challenging ones. So look around the room, say thank you, or give a hearty shout out to your family. Thanks to the virtual medium, you can even get up and give them a hug if you are with them. You are here because of them. That network also includes your friends. It's likely that you shared endless text messages, moments of laughter, and perhaps tears of sorrows with them. Give them a thumbs up. And front and center are your ACS Doha teachers. No doubt they pushed you. Nevertheless, they understood your limits. They asked you to question. They never gave up on you. And there is the ACS Doha staff, which has worked tirelessly, many times behind the scenes, to ensure that the entire system known as the school worked for you and for your benefit. A clap and a thumbs up to the faculty and staff. Now, as we honor each graduate today, I think it important to reflect more on this moment and put it in context. Your lives have been largely structured. As you grow older, the security of the family and high school eases, and with that comes individual responsibility and your own accountability. The feeling of liberation and what you may see as freedom likely brings with you a sense of uncertainty. We all know that feeling when expectations do not go as planned. Yet throughout one's life, whether it be when you were younger, at this very moment, or 20 years from now, uncertainty will be with you. So today, I hope to set out some lessons to help guide you on the wonderful journey that awaits you beyond the physical and virtual walls of ACS Doha. My first lesson is for you to accept and not run away from uncertainty. You are already adept at that. You survived COVID-19. You probably wondered, Due to COVID-19, when, if ever, will I be able to sit down with a friend, enjoy a laugh without wearing a mask? Over the past 18 months, you have adapted in ways you probably never imagined you could when, in March of last year, we heard rumblings of some invisible virus. You were able to stay indoors for a substantial time. You didn't visit friends in person for months on end. Some of you may have gone for a walk and timed it in a way to see a friend from a distance. That may have been your only interaction with somebody you care deeply about outside of your family. You're going to remember these moments, this type of interaction forever. Time flew as days became blurred. You dealt with isolation. And I trust you found in yourself a rugged determination to manage and get on with it, restrictions aside. It will be your ability to adapt, to go with the flow, and do so with a sense of humor and with respect to others that will distinguish you. Your response will invariably create opportunities. What you may consider today to be a hurdle could tomorrow be a blessing. My second lesson for you is to stay focused on your core values. For many of us, those values have come from our family, from our religion, from books we've read, from our dear teachers. They may have been reinforced or instilled here at ACS Doha, or a difficult situation may have caused you to take stock. I would encourage you to sit down and write your values on a piece of paper. You're going to be tested throughout your life as to your commitment to them. And over time, you may prioritize or add to them. Yet it's important to develop instincts about right and wrong, shaped by those values, and to have trust in your own values. Developing a gut feel, so to speak, about other people, about situations, is so important in life. You need to know when to run away, and to do so quickly at times, when to stay and be quiet, or perhaps when to stay and be engaged. My third lesson is that your life will be measured by your deeds. Your words reflecting your knowledge, understanding, and judgment, and how you convey them are very important, for sure. Yet it's easy to talk and write, but many times it's very difficult to act. And why do I say that? Well, action takes planning, it takes a commitment, it takes time and energy, and it invariably involves risk. Action may mean dealing with disagreement, which is something we all like to avoid. Managing differences while staying focused on your ultimate objectives is a skill worth developing. I'm sure you've heard this question: what can I do to help you? The question alone means that someone wants to take time and energy to help you. I would encourage you to be the person to ask that question to others. I would encourage you to build and implement solutions rather than be the one who merely criticizes. In short, be a problem solver. Recognize, however, that maybe in this process you will need some help. Never shy away from asking someone for help, as you're going to find they will be more than grateful for that question and anxious to help you. Fourth, be grateful during the good and difficult times. You're indeed the lucky ones. You have family and friends. You've had a first-rate education here at ACS Doha, complete with sports and extramural programs and the like. You have access to technology, which has fundamentally transformed society, enabling you, by the click of the button, to be able to communicate with your friends across the street or thousands of miles away. You're able to learn so much about subjects just by clicking a button. You've not had to worry about security, such as food, water, and a roof over your head. Fifth, return that gratitude and do so to the least suspecting of it. Your simple outreach could profoundly change another human being. And the smile of another may be a moment of unexpected happiness for you. Finally, every graduating class is told that They are in unique circumstances, and these are unusually challenging times. And to a certain extent, they're correct, because it's all measured by the moment. For your class, you have endured half of your junior and most of your senior year apart. You've witnessed a tool designed to enable participation, social media, used to undermine truth and disrupt the foundation of societies, as well as whittle at any sense of privacy you may have. You're experiencing the transformation of economies built on hydrocarbons. You are watching as states lose control over currencies, such as with the development of Bitcoin, or in commerce when states lose control thanks to the blockchain. You've lived in a country that has experienced a blockade and in a region with violence, yet fortunately Qatar has escaped the latter. Each of these developments, however, has another story. For the past 18 months during the pandemic, you came together in ways that were not needed when meeting face to face, and you were readily able to bring others into your community via the internet. Social media has enabled you to establish your identity outside of your close circle of friends here in Doha. You're able to learn from others thanks to social media, and also you're able to have your own voice. Presumably, given the proliferation of false information, you've become more discerning. You have likely become mindful of the importance of your own identity, as others, including those whom you don't even know, may try to steal it. Economic transformations are going to open up new career opportunities for each of you. They're going to enable you to shape a society that is, for example, respectful of the environment. The blockade against Qatar instilled in it a sense of self-reliance, and has spawned numerous new businesses. This is the way adversity can change a society for the better. I encourage you to be part of a movement to recognize that in challenging times, you rise to the fore in order to better society. Okay. Now, it's very hard to find any silver linings in military conflicts, and I'm not even remotely going to try to say that these will be going away in your lifetime. Unfortunately, all our lives, I'm afraid, will be affected by them. I think one of the biggest challenges going forward will be developing a new international means beyond the United Nations and regional organizations to address them. And I believe that the most important aspect of this is understanding, preventing violence in the first instance. You and your classmates are able to communicate with others in a way to promote understanding differences as a way to prevent violence. So as you go forward from ACS Doha, you will take many lessons with you, and you will also have wonderful memories, both in and out of the classroom. Your learning and your accomplishments are really just the beginning of the next stage of a life, which I hope will be dedicated to something larger than yourself. Good luck and Godspeed to the ACS Doha class of 2021.
أما الآن فنبقى مع الطالبة تشوينغ دولما وهذه المعزوفة الموسيقية.
Choying Dolma from grade 10 will now perform a violin solo.
إن الطالب المتفوق أو الفالودكتوريان هو الطالب الذي حصل على أعلى مستويات التحصيل الأكاديمي من بين جميع الطلاب في الدفعة.
The valedictorian is a student who has attained the highest academic achievement in the class.
الحائزة على هذه الجائزة البارزة لهذا العام هي الطالبة إيمان أوزاني. لعل أفضل ما يمكن أن نصف به إيمان أنها متعلمة متوازنة ومهتمة، لقد ألهمت زملائها ومعلميها بشغفها بالتميز والتعاطف لمساعدة الآخرين على النجاح. لقد ميز إيمان عن الآخرين التزامها بتحقيق التميز الأكاديمي العالي. لقد كانت دائما رصيدا كبيرا لمجتمعنا.
The recipient of this year's preeminent award is Iman Uzani. Iman can be described as a balanced and caring learner. She inspired her cohort and teachers with her passion for excellence and compassion to help others succeed. Iman's commitment to high academic achievement has differentiated her from others. She has been a great asset to our community.
رحبوا معي الآن بإيمان أوزاني التي ستقدم خطاب الطالب المتفوق.
Please welcome Iman Uzani to deliver the valedictory address.
You are trekking through a jungle and get lost. Vines and branches envelope your view from every direction. You hear sounds of creatures that chill you to your bone. You look around hoping to see familiar terrain, but everything around you seems foreign. You're about to lose hope. All of a sudden, you remember the compass and machete in your hands, and remember the words of your tour guide. If you get lost, go north. Suddenly, life isn't grim anymore, and the light of hope begins to shine within you again. You hack through the vegetation, maybe fight a tiger or two, and finally reach your destination. At times, we find ourselves unsure about what we're doing in our lives. It's as if our goals are surrounded by fog, blurring our vision of them. And we find ourselves stuck in the jungle and about to lose hope. But that's okay. Dreams don't materialize from thin air. It takes time and effort. As highlighted by the American former basketball player Michael Jordan, anything can happen if you are willing to put in the work and remain open to the possibility. Dreams are realized by effort, determination, passion, and staying connected to the sense of who you are. As the 2021 graduates of ACS Doha, whenever we find ourselves in this sticky situation, we are fully equipped to hack through every obstacle that comes our way. An important skill developed during our years at ACS is being inquisitive. Never stop asking questions. When you ask questions, you will be able to discover new ideas and thoughts that you have never even dreamt of. The process of questioning everything around you will allow you to find a goal that best suits you. I didn't realize my passion for building technology and software by chance. I asked questions, and for my answers, I did the research. I enrolled in the online courses. I wrote the code. Another skill I developed at ACS is being open-minded. During middle school and early high school, public speaking wasn't always easy for me. Whenever I was placed in front of a crowd, I would always murmur, mumble, and stutter. Regardless of that, I pushed myself to participate in clubs that were outside of my comfort zone, the ones that required me to be a strong public speaker. Being open to these opportunities had led me to be exposed to various activities that helped me shape my dream. Through various clubs such as Model United Nations, the Student Voice, and the Robotics Club, I was able to realize my dream of enacting change through technology. Therefore, I urge my fellow classmates to always be open-minded. When you are open to any possibility that comes your way, even if they seem unconventional, you are more successful in realizing and achieving your dream. Being equipped is not only a result of the skills developed at ACS, but also from the endless support we have received from our families that we are forever grateful for. Families who support our dreams and are there for us when we need them. Although our hopes and dreams may not be clear to us at this point, with this support in hand, I have full confidence that we will be able to find them in our journey through life. When the fog begins to disappear and our goals become clearer, we must do everything in our power to reach these goals. Persistence is crucial when it comes to reaching your goals. No matter what hurdle comes your way, it is important to never give up on overcoming it. Never giving up is easier said than done. However, with utmost determination and confidence, you will be able to overcome anything. I've learned that whatever happens, you have to keep pushing forward. Because only by braving great difficulties, you will truly be able to succeed. Our life beyond high school may be filled with uncertainty. However, as the 2021 graduates of ACS Doha, we are equipped to deal with any hardship that comes our way. My advice to you is to always ask questions, be open-minded, and to never give up. With these skills, you will be able to overcome anything. Thank you.
سنقوم الآن بتقديم الجوائز الأكاديمية والاجتماعية.
We will now present the social and academic awards.
مؤرخ الدفعة هو المرشح الذي ينجح باختيار زملائه الخريجين لكي يؤرخ ويسجل مذكراتهم وتجاربهم الشخصية.
The historian is a keeper of memories for the class, the successful candidate chosen by the class to represent the character, personality, and experience of the graduates.
مؤرخ الدفعة هو الطالب عمر أحمد.
The class historian, Syed Umar Ahmed.
جائزة الخدمة الاجتماعية تمنح هذه الجائزة للطالب الذي أسهم بشكل بارز في خدمة المدرسة والمجتمع.
The Community Service Award is presented to a student who has made an outstanding contribution to serving the school and the community.
حصلت على هذه الجائزة الطالبة أنجليكا غيرستن جيكالي.
This goes to Angelica Gersten Gikale.
جائزة التفوق الثانية تمنح هذه الجائزة للطالب الذي حقق ثاني أعلى مستوى في التحصيل الأكاديمي المتميز من بين جميع الطلاب في الدفعة.
The Salutatorian Award is given to the second highest performing graduate in recognition of outstanding academic achievement.
حصلت على جائزة التفوق الثانية الطالبة ماتيلدا إيزابيل فيربرذر.
The class salutatorian is Matilda Isabel Fairbrother.
جائزة التفوق الأولى تمنح هذه الجائزة للطالب الذي حقق أعلى مستوى في التحصيل الأكاديمي المتميز من بين جميع الطلاب في الدفعة.
The Valedictorian Award is given to the highest performing graduate in recognition of outstanding academic achievement.
حصلت على جائزة التفوق الأولى الطالبة إيمان أوزاني.
The class valedictorian is Iman Uzani.
ويسرنا الآن أن ندعو السيد تيم كاغني الرئيس التنفيذي لمدارس ACS الدولية لتقديم جائزة المؤسس المرموقة. تمنح هذه الجائزة للطالب الخريج الذي أظهر تحصيلاً أكاديمياً ممتازاً ومشاركة فعالة مستمرة في النشاطات والحياة المدرسية وخدمة الآخرين والقيادة المدرسية. سيتم عرض اسم الطالب الفائز بجائزة المؤسس على درع زجاجي خاص يعلق على جدار منطقة الاستقبال بمدخل المدرسة.
Now we invite Mr. Tim Cagney, Chief Executive Officer of ACS International Schools, to present the prestigious Founders Award. This award is presented to a high school graduating student who has demonstrated excellent academic achievement, consistent involvement in extracurricular activities, school life, service to others, and school leadership. The name of the recipient will be displayed on a glass plaque on the wall of the school's reception area.
Hello. The recipient of this year's Founders Award has been with ACS Doha since 2016. She has modelled community service through activities, projects, and selfless undertakings. In particular, she has been involved in Appreciation Day, lower school athletics, and helping organise the MYP completion ceremony. She has been studious, yet has balanced her academic responsibilities with fellowship. She has been an exemplar to her peers. This year's Founders Award for ACS Doha is presented to Jane Manyamar.
ساهمت الفائزة بهذه الجائزة في المجالات الأكاديمية والاجتماعية في المدرسة. لقد كانت نموذجًا لمناصرة الطلاب، وقد أظهرت أداءً مثاليًا في النتائج الأكاديمية والمشاركة الاجتماعية.
Our awardee has contributed to both academic and social areas of school life. She has been a model of student advocacy and has shown exemplary work in her academic and community engagement.
جائزة المؤسسة المرموقة لهذا العام من نصيب جين مينج مانياما.
The award goes to Jane Mange Manyama.
سنبدأ الآن بمنح الدبلومات.
We will now proceed with the awarding of the diplomas.
ومع السيد تريفر فرنس مدير المرحلة الإعدادية والثانوية وكلمة في وداع الخريجين.
Mr. Trevor Furness will now deliver the principal's farewell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and our graduating class of 2021. A special thank you to Dr. Susan Karamanian for her inspiring speech. I know that her wisdom and wise counsel will stand our leavers in very good stead as they further their studies and beyond. To our graduates, may I state the obvious. Your journey over the last 2 years has been fraught with challenges associated with the pandemic, and your resilience under such profoundly disruptive circumstances has been admirable. Your ability to adapt and change as you've transitioned from one scenario to the next, all the while not faltering in your academic focus or attendant responsibility, has been inspirational. As you move to tertiary education and a life beyond the closeting and protective confines of school and family, be assured that you're well prepared to make the passage into adulthood. Mark Twain said, "Never let schooling get in the way of education." He was not dismissing schooling, but emphasizing its role in supporting future learning. The intersection at which you have now arrived offers myriad wonderful opportunities. How you apply your skills, values, and morals will define you. Aristotle said, "You are what you repeatedly do." Remember that excellence is a habit and not a single act. Therefore, make certain that your serving talent is larger than your ego. The value of service extends beyond self-conceit. Pride is the liability of foolish people. Avoid it. Aim to be tough and uncompromising in what you do, but always be kind. If you commit to all jobs equally, no matter how small or demeaning, if you are prepared to listen to wisdom from the most unlikely places, and if reaching rock bottom provides the strongest foundations upon which to build your life, you will make an extraordinary impact on the world. Be prepared to start something that is not easy and for which you have no compelling interest, but with a singular desire, through hard work and perseverance, to see it successfully to completion. People who accomplish great things have the ability to struggle through the barrier of challenging situations. Success sometimes requires that you conquer yourself, that you break routines and resist the urge to give up. Discipline, desire, determination, and dedication are needed to overcome life's obstacles. Living is not about the minutes spent on this earth, but the manner in which they are used. Be alert to the uncalled for, the unexpected, and the unintentional. Prepare yourself for victory and for loss, for each will leave its mark and will build and enhance your character. You all have dreams and aspirations of becoming the captain of your ship or the commander of your legion. Great leaders have two attributes in common: empathy and perspective. Simon Sinek said that not being in charge, but taking care of those in our charge, differentiates leaders from managers. Leadership comes at great personal sacrifice. When everything is going right, you give away all of the credit to your team. But when everything is going wrong, you shoulder all of the responsibility. In this role, you become more concerned about the human being and less about their output. Whether you achieve lofty goals should not diminish your desire to set them. Nelson Mandela's words should resonate. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for life less than you are capable of living. As you transition to college, university, or life away from school, you need to understand the importance and worth of family and friends. Never push those away who have your best interests at heart. As you stare through life's trials and tribulations, they will become your benchmarks and touchstones. Build goals related to career, further education, hobbies, interests, and care for your mental and physical well-being. Without attention to the latter, you are setting yourself for a life of misery and suffering. Do not think you are entitled. Your hero should be you in the future. While you strive to be exceptional, the goal will remain unattainable. Nevertheless, this should never diminish your desire to accomplish it. While on the journey, realize that your greatest gift is belief and the joy in feeling that you are fashioned to do something. The most precious commodity we possess is time. Do not waste it. Do what is important, better yourself, read, explore, and live life to the full. Impact and touch others' lives. Build a legacy that leaves your mark on the world. Remember why you're here. Pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, at times to the point of exhaustion, will allow you to transition from a brilliant idea to a brilliant outcome. George Bernard Shaw said, "We cannot help getting old, but we do not have to get old." Look around you. See those exemplary figures who, during their twilight years, are more productive now than ever before. Be afraid to take risks and accomplish something meaningful, but be more afraid of not trying. As you move to the next episode of your life, you will have to relearn formalities of communication, as the world outside can be intolerant and insensitive. There is no place for making excuses if you fail to deliver. Own up and try again. You should not pretend to be an expert at something for which you have no talent. You will have to work faster at making decisions based upon data and evidence. In order to develop, it will be essential for you to work with someone who can make you grow. Similarly, finding the most suitable way to climb your mountain is to take heed that information gleaned can assist, but is no substitute for participating and living through the process. Invest the right effort, make effective, targeted decisions. Give up the desire to have immediate gratification. Life is not a computer game. Train your mind to see the world differently. Every day you'll be presented with confusing truths. In the same way that Socrates was inscrutably committed to truth, you should be the same. Endeavor to turn data into information, information into knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom. Be skeptical of what you think is true, because the internet says so. Recognize and use valid evidence to support your conclusions and guide your path. The old adage that you need to fill the gap between your birth and death with significance is worth repeating. During your life, give wholesomely without expecting something in return. Be humble, because humble people are situationally aware. They retain relationships. They make difficult decisions more easily. Put others first. They listen, are curious, speak their minds, take the time to say thank you. Never use the personal pronoun to begin a sentence. Accept feedback and criticism. Share opportunities through collaboration. Assume responsibility and ask for help. Neil deGrasse Tyson emphasized that upon graduating high school, you need to give meaning to a new beginning, for this is the definition of commencement. Let no one tell you what you cannot do. No matter what station of life people hold, make everybody somebody. Retain the curiosity of your childhood. Never worry about what your ignorant detractors say about you. Heed only those who wish you the very best. Take note of what Martin Luther King said. You can only be ridden if your back is bent. And finally, you have been guided through high school by a curriculum. Your journey from now on involves choosing electives. May your journey see the realization of your dreams.
وبهذا نختتم فعاليات احتفالنا لهذا المساء. نشكر الضيوف الكرام وأولياء الأمور على حضورهم الكريم. مع تحيات محدثكم سلطان مناعي وزميلتي كارين بوكتر. لقد تشرفنا بتقديم هذا الحفل وشكرا.
This concludes tonight's proceedings. We thank our honored guests and parents for their attendance. This is Karen Bochter and Sultan Amanai, and it's been an honor to be your masters of ceremony for this evening's event.